Okay, the following video will show you how to look at the work your students have been doing in Achieve 3000. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my Achieve 3000. I'm already signed in, so I'm going to click on Admin, and I'm going to go into Student Work. Okay. What I want to do is focus on the activities because that's what will allow the students to go up in their Lexile level. So I'm going to click my lessons and I'm going to click on activities. Okay. As you can see, when I click on that, there's a lot of information that shows up. Now, for you, you should only really have one class. But if you were me, or if you had more than one class, let's say you had a Spanish and an English class, you would have two classes showing up here. I'm going to click on Mr. Flores, Español, room 17. When I do that, what will happen is anybody who's enrolled in this class, it will show me the information for that particular class. Which users I can choose, specifically if I want to choose one user. I don't really want to. I want to see what the whole class does. Languages, I'm going to leave blank. Students only, I'm going to leave the way it is. And the date. This is the second most important thing. The date, it's used to figure out what they did in the last couple of weeks. Since we are doing this on a weekly basis, I would suggest that you create a date of when these assignments are due and go by those dates, and every week you keep changing these dates. So in this case, I'm going to pick January 1st, 2014 to September 1st, 2014. The only reason why I'm doing that is so that I can actually get information from the system. If not, it won't give me any information since most of our students haven't actually done Achieve 3000 this year so far. Okay, we're completing this class only. Yes, I'm just focusing on this class. Which activities at their Lexile level, because that's what we're focusing on when we give them the actual activities. Summarize them by the class, yes, and I'm going to click on View Report. When you click on View Report, you should get a screen pop-up. The screen pop-up will give you information on how your students have been doing since the dates or the date range that you provided. Mr. Flores Español, they've had 4 activities. Jacob Bernat is college ready. If you look at no class specific, where they haven't chosen a class, so there's probably people from last year, information from last year, or over the summer, you can see that some of them have actually done work. Now this is great for looking at how our students are doing. It gives you the Lexile level right here. It gives you their first try, what they got. It gives you when they did it and at what time. But for grading purposes, this is not specific enough for us, or it doesn't give us the information the way that it will be easy for us to input it into Power Grade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the top and click on this middle option that says Export to Excel. Okay, gives me a pop-up warning because I'm not using Microsoft Browser. That is fine. And then what it'll do is it'll give me this. From here, you want to click on Download. So I'm going to right click using 2 fingers on my Mac and click Save Link As. Okay, I'm going to put it into my documents, and it's going to be my Achieve 3000 class information that I just saw. What I'm going to take though is I'm going to take everything up to that period off, and I'm going to call it week 1. And I'm going to continue to do that every week so that I have a record of what they've been doing, because sometimes students will say, well, I did some work, and you can pull up this information and show them. So I'm going to click Save, and it will download. Okay. Once it downloads, my Achieve 3000 information is gone. I don't need it anymore, so I don't need the actual website. I'm going to go ahead and click on that little link that came up on the bottom, and Excel should show up or bring it up. If it doesn't, let me know. There's something in your preferences that is not allowing you to actually come up with it. Now, this is the information that we just saw, but in a different format. What I'm going to show you is that some of this information is redundant. So the district, we know we're on El Cajon Valley. We don't need it. The school, we don't need. We know we're all at Hay Elementary. Lexile adjustment, we don't need that. The class, if you know your class, then we can go ahead and delete that. We do need the name, so we're going to leave that. So I'm going to go ahead and right click with my 2 fingers on my Mac and go down to delete. All that information is gone. We don't need it anymore. Do we need the student ID? Not necessarily. The solution? No. The grade? No. College ready? Maybe, maybe not. Developing? Maybe, maybe not. Section where you got this from? No. You might need the activity though, so I'm going to go ahead and stop there. Two finger, right click, and I'm going to click delete. All those columns will be gone. Lexile level, you may or may not want it. I usually don't need it, so I'm going to go ahead and click the activity type and the Lexile level and delete those two. Okay. First try, this is important. What they got on their first try on their article. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to take this part, and this part off. The reason why I'm taking those off is because I don't care what they did on their second try. Remember that we're only focusing on the first try. Two finger double click on the Mac, click delete, and that information is gone. You might want to keep the date though, as I'm showing you right now. You might want to keep the date just so that you can prove or have proof of when the student actually did the work, okay, in case you have a cutoff time. Okay, so what do I do now? Well, the first thing is I want to get rid of anybody who scored under 75 on the first try. So I'm going to click on that column. Okay, I'm going to go to sort up here, and I'm going to click ascending. So from lower to higher. Now, what happens is there's a warning that says, well, some of this information has other information that is also attached. You want it to sort not only by the numbers, but also by the students so that that information stays connected. So I'm going to click sort. Okay, and then it sorts it. Now, I have Victor Ibarra. I have all these students who scored under 75% on their first try. So what I'm going to do is right click, two fingers, and click delete. Those students no longer show up on my list. Okay, so now what I'm left is with anybody who scored over 75 who I want to go ahead and give a grade. But it's kind of hard to see it this way because I have to start picking and choosing students. So I'm going to go back and click on the column A, and now I'm going to sort again, but now by last name, ascending from A to Z. So as the information is attached to the information, you want to make sure that that's still attached. Yes. And now it's been sorted by last name from A to Z. I can go and print this out if I want to and paste it on my board. I can go ahead and start looking at how they did. I can see that Arlene Alvarez on August 11th scored an 88. I can give her credit for that. And anybody who's here can get credit because they scored over 75% or at 75% and above, as I mentioned previously, or as we did previously when we deleted the people. Okay, if you have any questions on this, feel free to text me or email me.